I did not want to upload this video. I repeat, I did not want to upload this video. You know, talking about your money when you're doing well is one thing. You know, you don't want people to like treat you differently because you are doing so well. But then talking about your money when you're not doing so hot, when you know you're on a little bit of a shaky ground financially, is some next shit, right? It's like, yo, it's like your bank account is like your scorecard in life, in a sense, right? And this past year, or like the year it took me to like almost pay the whole credit card bill, was a long ass year. And this is what happened.
Everything is gonna be alright when you're feeling low and you can't see the light.
Hey man, so welcome back to another installment of edutainment. My goal on this channel is to make sure that you're entertained, that you are laughing, but also, most importantly, that you are learning something that you can apply to your own personal life and make it better. So, as you can see by the title, mans are in a bit of a little dilemma. Not little, but a decent amount of dilemma. Right? Has about $12,000 in credit card debt, and had to just, you know, deal with that shit and pay that off. So I just wanted to share my experience paying off the credit card debt and just how I went about it, pretty much. About $9,000 of the credit card debt was actually from a business venture I was trying to do, right? I've always had a very entrepreneurial type of spirit. Never liked the idea of a regular 9-to-5 cubicle type of job, right? You're having your income be capped, right? There's safety in having the 9-to-5, but it's also, you know, your growth opportunity is also pretty low when you think about it, right? But the entrepreneurial side, there's more you know, roller coaster type of thing. You can make one month you can make 1K, 20K, whatever it is. Then the next month, especially in the beginning stages, you can make nothing. Initially, I had some capital that I was using to invest into the business. So it was an e-commerce, Amazon FBA. So like selling physical products on Amazon, right? So I would buy it from the manufacturer and then resell it on Amazon for a higher price. Say for example, an actual product I buy it for maybe $20, and then we sell it for like 40 or 50, and then do that times like 100 or 200, and you can see like you're making some decent amount of income. But that one kind of sour, right? I made a whole website so I can contact people, look professional, had a professional email, stuff like that. And I was really proud of myself. Like I was putting together like an actual, you know, business that I could work with. But because I didn't own these products myself, I wasn't a manufacturer. I was just like a middleman. Like you had the manufacturer, the third-party seller, and then the customer, right? But if the manufacturer decides not to sell it anymore, or they decide to sell it to other people, and those people on Amazon like lower the price, then that affects me and my margin. So I started losing a lot of money, and rather than maybe use my own capital, use my own physical money that I had, I started spending the money to buy more products with my credit card. And hence you can see how I started getting into credit card debt. So I ended up with about 9,000 of the 12,000 in credit card debt is from the business venture. And you know, I bought a course, and I wouldn't say that the course was a scam, because at the most I was usually breaking even, right? So the course itself is not a scam. My definition of a scam is like you lose out on pretty much all of your money, right? But with this one, for the most part, I was usually breaking even, but it was the last like couple attempts to make money that I started like really losing a lot of the money I was investing. And rather than breaking even, I was now like losing a couple thousands. And obviously when you don't pay your minimum payment on your credit card in time, you start charging your interest, and when they charge interest on $1,000 worth of like credit, it can pile up pretty quickly. I was almost about 100 some odd days without paying the bill, and just paying minimum. First, we were just paying the minimum. Then it was like not paying it at all. when you get to about 100 some odd days of not paying shit, yo, they come after you. And I started getting letters from my bank, TD. My mom and dad started sending letters, and I was not happy with this shit, right? So, and then the other 3K of it was just consumer credit card debt. From like Uber Eats. I made a whole story time of how I spent almost $1,000 on Uber Eats one time, like in 1 month, right? And I was never really had too much of an issue like paying my personal credit card debt. It was more so paying the business credit card debt. I ended up actually having 3 credit cards: a personal, a US credit card, and then like a Canadian credit card. And just having just all that credit is very, you know, especially at like 19 at the time, you don't want to put yourself in that position. So that's what I ended up doing. So I'm like, okay, so now at this point I'm at $12,000 in credit card debt, right, overall. So I'm like, what's the most effective way for me to pay all this shit without, like, you know, it taking forever, right? And at this time, I was only making about $1,000 a month, quote unquote, essentially, in terms of like income coming in. I was like a wait staff, like a wait staff type of job. So it was like on call, so you can pick up a shift whenever you want to, or 1 month you can make maybe $2,000, the next month you can make maybe nothing if you decide not to work, right? So over the summer, I kept working, kept accumulating money, and I'm like, what can I do to accelerate this process of paying off this debt? So I'm like, how about I stay with my homie and sleep on the couch rather than having my own like full-on place, right? At the time, I was paying rent, living in like a actual, like, you know, proper unit, proper place. I'm like, okay, how about I cut off my overhead from paying rent and just sleep on my homie's couch for a while. And I'm like, okay, this could actually be a very good idea, right? I mean, you sleep on the couch for however long I need. I still go to school, and with funny thing with school, right, is like I decided to go part-time rather than going full-time as well. I decided to go part-time. I decided to sleep on the couch for the next year or so and work the job, and then also do YouTube on the side as well. You know, this is my goal, right? So in my friend's unit, we had about three other roommates living on residence, right? But as a result, because there was a residence building and not a regular apartment, in the residence agreement, you couldn't have people stay in the unit for a prolonged period of time. So and he was the only black guy in that unit. I'm not saying it was a factor, but I'm saying it was a factor. So I honestly tried not to be there as much as possible. I tried to only be there when I need to sleep, right? Other than that, I was in the study hall or in class or working or shooting videos or whatever it is. I tried to not be there as much as possible. But for them, they still didn't really care, or they still felt like I was taking up space. So essentially, I ended up getting campus police called on me, and I had to like move my shit out, right? And I could no longer like have my stuff there or kind of live there for a period of time. So I took my stuff to a different homie's place. I'm like, yo, can I sleep on your couch for a bit? Couch for the next little while, next couple months or so? He's like, okay, cool, no problem. And then I left my stuff there. Throughout this time, I was accumulating money. Like, I had pretty much only expense I really had was like money or food. And you know, for the most part, I do fasting. I do intermittent fasting, so I pretty much only eat 1 meal a day. So like, I had practically no expenses except for the one time tuition payment semester as a part-time student, and then just like focusing all my energy towards paying the credit card bill. But then my homie started getting a girlfriend, right? So obviously, if when the girlfriend's over, you want at least as few other people to be in the room or in the unit as possible. So I couldn't always stay there. And then I don't blame him, but like, he prioritized his girlfriend over me. So like, some nights I had nowhere to sleep. So what did I do? I sleep on campus. I try and find a place on campus to sleep at the study room, washroom. Bruh. I was sleeping in the washrooms. I was sleeping in residence washrooms. I just locked the door. I tried to sleep in there for the night. Yo. Oh shit, bro. Yeah, and then, but then I guess, because of my experience getting kicked out of the campus residence, I was known on campus as someone to not like, you know, not to live on campus, not to be around campus too much. So it's like, yo, you can't sleep here, you can't like sleep around campus. You need to go somewhere else except sleep here. So I'm like, okay, try to. And this is winter. This is around winter time right now, right too. So it's like Canadian winter, no joke, not to be played with. Canadian winter is not a joke at all.
Dear weatherman, let me tell you, when it's cold outside and you say, oh, it's 1 degree, but it feels like -20 because the wind chill, then it's -20, okay? If it don't matter what it is, if it feels like less. And right now it feels like -1,000 degrees. I'm in Toronto. I try to pee on myself. The pee got stuck in my urethra. Okay, that's how cold it is out here. Stop telling me what it feels like and what it is. It is what it feels like. You understand me? I don't know how people is living here. I seen people outside, they got on hats with hoodies and they ain't even put the hoodie on. They out here deluded.
So what I had to do, I had to go to a homeless shelter. And you know, it is what it is. I just did not want to be a slave to no man. I did not want to be in debt. Honestly, I would say, like, yo, for anybody who actually wants to go to school, you're better off just doing it part-time while you pay it in cash, rather than, you know, or paying, so you have more time to either work alongside while you're going to school, so that when you finish school, ultimately, it may take you a bit longer. It probably will take you a bit longer. But just so when you finish school, ultimately, there's less like of this whole like baggage of debt on your head, right? Especially me being a Nigerian. I know Owolabby me, Nigerian firstborn son, right? This is a story I've never told my parents about. I'll cross the bridge with them when I get there. But yeah, I was homeless for the most part for like damn near 6 months. Just to pay this shit off, right? I did not want this shit on my neck. So each month I was just, you know, go to work. How did I shower? Just you shower there. I got used to like wearing one pair of clothing for like an extended period of time, right? Just throw in the laundry when you needed it. And the thing with the homeless shelter too, right, is like you had to like sign in and make sure you were able to in order to keep your room or to keep your bed, you had to sign in at certain periods of times. And when I missed those periods of times, I no longer had a bed. Sometimes I would just like get a row of chairs together and sleep on that shit. And I'm gonna have to make a whole like story time about my homeless experience. Maybe show some more clips and videos. But essentially, what I did to pay off my 12K in like credit card debt and shit was for you, it might be to go back home or sleep on the couch with your roommates or somebody, or your friend, and maybe pay them like X amount of dollars, right, to help with their rent. And then I just became a part-time student just so I could use some of that capital towards paying my credit card bill. It's actually crazy. As a man, I just realized a lot of like homeless people are men, right? I guess a lot of the men just suffer in silence a lot, and we don't really want to like express our emotions or express too much of what we're struggling with. And yeah, but that's my experience. I might make a part 2 video to this to go into more detail because I can only upload 15-minute videos with my iPhone. But yeah, God bless, much love, peace, and joy. Namaste. And always remember, if it doesn't feed you, don't water it. I'ma see y'all in the next video. Deuces.
See, I know it's hard. Things are moving so fast. With the way that we're living, nothing seems